Yeah, David Dread of Steel Pulse, and I'm saying hail to Lion Voice because it's time that the lion have its voice, have its own story. Says I'm stepping out here. Hear me now. Yeah, the lion's voice. Raw.
I'm Nana Faraka. The time has come for the lioness to tell her story from her viewpoint and tell the world who Queen Omega is. This is the lion's voice.
My great grandmother was Empress Menen. Before she married Emperor Haile Selassie, she was married to three other people, and one of them was Jantrar Amede,
Yes.
of whom she got the son, who was her son, called Jantrar Gabriel, who was my grandfather and the father of my mother.
Okay.
So the Empress is my great grandmother on my maternal side.
Yes.
And I cannot tell you what kind of not only love and respect, but I idolize Empress Menen.
Oh, wow. Talk to us about what's your first memory of the emperor growing up?
You won't believe it. My very first the remaining emperor was as a child.
Yes, yes.
I had mumps that didn't go back. So I was operated. And in those days, you know, I must have been about 3 or 4 years of age.
Okay.
In those days, you had these terrible anesthetic called ether, which they dropped on your nose and so forth. So I wake from this operation, and who is standing at my bedside? My grandfather, Ras Kassa, and the Emperor of Ethiopia.
Oh.
And you know, I'll never forget the operation was done in Emperor Haile Selassie's hospital, which in those days was immediately next to the Gannat al Palace.
Okay.
So for the 2 weeks I spent in hospital, special care was done because the doctors ordered for me that the best thing I could do was to eat ice cream every day. So the ice cream came from the Imperial Palace every day for me. So, you see, this is my very first
memory.
You know, in the remembrance of His Imperial Majesty. Can you imagine waking from from anesthetics, and the Emperor of Ethiopia is on your bedside? Was that if you ask me what is the expression of your Ethiopianness? To be anywhere near the Emperor of Ethiopia when the national anthem was played. This was the most divine, this was for me what Ethiopia was.
Okay.
These two things. And seeing the emperor when he saluted the flag, the national anthem was played, that was the embodiment of Ethiopia for me as a child.
Wow. So what was it? What was his personality like? We see the pictures, we see the stoic face, the piercing eyes. What was he like for you as a a relative of yours behind the scenes? What was his character like?
Unbelievable, of course, daunting in many ways, indescribable. Whenever, of course, you went to see him during the big holidays and, the main Christian festivities, I remember, of course, the Christmas parties for children, which he gave in the palace, He was playing really for us the role of a wonderful grandfather, and that is how I saw him as a young man. Interestingly enough, I never made any discrimination, or I didn't distinguish between my paternal grandfather, Ras Kassa, and the Emperor of Ethiopia. For me, these were two people which I saw as one. The word Lion of Judah has nothing to do with the titles of the Ethiopian emperors.
Okay.
You know how it developed?
How?
In the 15th century, when the first contact came between Ethiopia and Portugal, the Ethiopian emperors used to begin every letter with the words, "The Lion of Judah will prevail."
Okay.
The ADC of the emperor rings up my father and tells him, His Imperial Majesty has commanded me to tell you, you and your wife and your firstborn son should come to the Jubilee Palace tomorrow at 1600 hours. My father said, what the hell have you done? And he didn't quite understand what it could be. So we really were open to everything, but not to what happened. And we went there, and he greeted us warmly in very familiar ways. And then I'll never forget what he said. In a time when our eyes were shut and we were unable to see the sufferings of our people, the Almighty gave you the foresight to realize this and to help your country. We have called you today to bless you and to tell you how proud we are of you.
Wow.
And that is, I must confess, one of the last times I saw the Ethiopian emperor.
Yes, sorry to. And we say Tafari, but it's really Taferi. Is that correct?
Tafari. Tafari is his baptismal name. Yes,
and what does that translate?
The man who is to be feared.
Okay.
Or the man who is feared by everybody. You see, this is the problem. It is that his vision of how to rule the world was always centralized. And I'm not saying that for those days that centralization did play an important role.
Yes.
But that was absolutely not everything that Ethiopia required. It required also the acceptance of all the natural leaders of the different provinces. And had the Ethiopian Emperor Haile Selassie I, had he got the same kind of vision as Emperor Menelik, he would have allowed those kingdoms to continue as long as they felt as one nation, as long as there was no reason for secession. There are many people who believe the last Ethiopian emperor was very traumatic about the other tribes. He only favored the Amharas.
Yes.
Absolutely untrue.
Yes.
The late emperor of Ethiopia, he didn't care what color you were, which ethnic group you belonged, whether you were Muslim and whether you were a Christian. For him, one thing mattered, and that was loyalty. You see, that is it. You cannot say that the Ethiopian emperor, Haile Selassie I, favored one of the many ethnic groups in Ethiopia. He treated them equally. First of all, I should say that the only people at this very moment who are still raising the standard of African unity, of Pan-Africanism, are our brothers and sisters, the Rastafarians. I'm afraid you won't find that kind of Pan-Africanistic feeling that I grew up with. I must tell you a beautiful story. I was 15 years of age in 1963 when the Organization of African Unity was founded.
Okay.
As I told you, I was in the German school, and we had a game between Ethiopian students. You went up to an Ethiopian fellow pupil, and said, "Where do you come from?" He said, "Are you out of your mind? I am a 100% Ethiopian." Bang, wrong answer. What am I supposed to say? Well, that was yesterday. From today on, you have to say, I am an African. This is how I grew up with. And this is the feeling that I see up to this very moment in our brothers and sisters from the Rastafari movement. I adore them for that. And we are very, very proud that they're still upholding this institution.
Well, lion voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion voice.
Alright, so continuing on with us, we're going to talk about the drums right now. The bass drum is the foundation. It gives off that frequency. It encompasses and surrounds and keeps the Ayabingi within a one place. It's always on the one. One sound, one mute. Alright, very important.
The more aware you are of yourself, the more you come to know yourself, the more mindful you are, okay, is the more skilled you become at using this powerful engine, which is your mind.
And then the resolution is like just finishing up the lessons now and just saying yes, and reminding people of the theme of your story. So, you know, the theme of this story was the importance of agriculture.
For the motherland, cradle of civilization, for the ancestors and their indomitable spirit, for the elders whom we can learn much, for the youth who represent our promise for tomorrow, for the people, the original people, for the struggle and remembrance of those who struggled on our behalf, for Umoja, the principle of unity that guides us in all we do, for the Creator who created all of the things great and small. We give thanks.
Let's go through the principles. The first one, blessed love and greetings. Welcome to day 5, our last day of camp. That's sad, right? Too short. Just when I started to have fun, it's over. But it's been fun, and we'll do this again next year, most definitely. Looking forward to seeing you all again, and stay connected after camp.
Government is trapping the system.
Jano, I'm so hungry, bro. I haven't eaten all day. Like, my head started to hurt me too. Like, what more could I eat right now?
What about a Siti samosa? Get your samosa, a fusion of Indian, Jamaican, and African culture. City samosas, the best samosas in the city.
Well, for unto us a son was born and a child was given, and the government shall be upon his shoulders. And his name shall be called the Wonderful Counselor, Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Them call him Rastafari. When he was born, rain fall from the sky. Them call him Rastafari. When he was grown in airplanes he fly. They call him Rastafari. The lion break the chain, weep not, don't cry. Them call him Rastafari. Read the Revelation chapter 5 verse 5. Then born near the city of Harar, the inspiration for Bob Marley's guitar. People crowd him like some big superstar. It no matter if England or Cote d'Ivoire, no matter if you're brown or black like Qatar. Haile Selassie I end all tribal war. Time fi gather Mount Zion, fi drive solar car from the car straight to Zanzibar. Who we are, the sons of Rastafari. When he was born, rain fall from the sky. Rastafari. When he was grown in airplanes he fly. Then Rastafari. The lion break the chain, weep not, don't cry. Then Rastafari. Read the Revelation chapter 5 verse 5. Royal governor from the age of 13 years. Leave the palace, fi go back in a school with him peers. He's the head without fear, he's one to be revered. When them call his name, then the heathen scare. Plus the priest concerned, and him teachers concerned. Cause all this little youth want fi do is just learn. But he wait his turn, till him turn the Dejazmatch. The people rejoice when him crown as the Ras, they call him Rastafari. When he was born, rain fall from the sky. Then Rastafari. When he was grown in airplanes he fly. Then Rastafari. The lion break the chain, weep not, don't cry. Then Rastafari. Read your Revelation chapter 5 verse 5.
What do you have to tell the people about Rastafari?
Light to the world. King of kings and the conquering line of the tribe of Judah. I left himself. Where's my ruler? Hey yo! Eli! Hear them high, hear the black king on the 23rd of July. So tell them guy who praise God up in the sky, it's a lie. The Almighty living on your night. From ancient time, them a try. Them Romans know them just open them suit and ties. Criminals ain't got no alibi. They stole my people, then them come without them genocide.
Are you talking about slavery?
Them couldn't kill the lion way come conquer Judah tribe. Go through tribulation, and I strive, see sufferation, and I still rise. That's why we tell them in America, live Rastafari in every ghetto area. We come if you tell them in a Toronto, straight at Greetings in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I. Glory and honor in the name of his chosen queen, Empress Menen. My name is Kwasi Bonsu, aka DejazmatchKwasi, aka Ras Kassa, aka the Reading Ras, aka the Pan-African Happy Man. I'm a creative industry attorney, I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm an actionist, and right now I am the host of Lion Talk. Welcome to Lion Talk and welcome to the Lion Voice Network, where the lions are telling our own story. Today's episode is historic, it's monumental. I stand in awe. I am honored to present our guest today, someone who is directly related to His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I and to Empress Menen, and also
someone who has distinguished themselves in their own right through their professional career, Prince of the Royal Bloodline. Tonight we are going to go deep into Ethiopian history. I them know I am a historian of Ethiopian history, and so I am in heaven right now. So if you see me smiling, just know that I am elated. And I am, want to just big up my brethren, Lich Nebiu, for the connection for this interview. All Lion Pride, you already know, support the platform. This is one of those episodes that will be remembered. So I'm not even going to take too long. Without further ado, help I to welcome a warm welcome down in the comments for Prince Afsawosen Aserate. I may have said it wrong.
Aserate.
Okay, sorry. Prince, please give a warm welcome for Prince Afsawosen Aserate. Welcome to the Lion Voice.
It's a great pleasure to be with you, my dear brother. Yes. And what a great pleasure to be interviewed exactly one day before the birthday of His late Imperial Majesty, Haile Selassie I.
Yes. We are preparing here in Washington, D.C. We have a Nyabingi gathering happening. The fire will be lit at midnight, and we will have 2 days of celebration for the birthday of His Majesty. So this is a very special time for Rastafari all around the world. And I know that you have been very vocal about the Rastafari community, and we'll get there. But we have a tradition here on Lion Talk Show. You're on one of the fastest growing Rastafari platforms on the planet. And all of our guests, we ask them to step into our Lion Talk time machine and to take us to the moment of their birth. Where were you born? We want you to tell your story, the origin story of your life. What was it like? What year? And then take us up to the present. Thank you.
Well, I'm very glad to be with you on this program. I was born on the 31st day of October, 1948.
Okay.
In the Ethiopian calendar, it would be the 21st day of Tikamt, 1941. Okay. I was born in Addis Ababa, in my father's house. It's very interesting, after the Ethiopian Orthodox faith, yes, men or male children are baptized at the age of 40 days.
Yes,
and female members of the family on the 80th day, simply because, unfortunately, of the role that Eve played
yes,
in getting us banished from heaven. Anyway, what happened? I have to really tell the story.
Yes, please.
In these days, you were plunged into water, into this ice-cold water,
okay,
and you were not allowed to have thermos flasks of warm water, okay, which people do today.
Yes.
So there I was, and after the baptism, I had a double pneumonia.
Wow.
And I was basically half dead.
Wow.
And it is a miracle that I survived that. And my dear aunt, Lady Ras Kassa, used to tell me, you will never get ill in your life because you've had all your illness in the first 40 days of your life.
Wow.
So that was really amazing. And I give that honor to the lady on whose day I was born, the Holy Virgin Mary, because the 21st day is the day of the Virgin Mary, and she is my patron saint, and my Christian, my second name, or let me say my baptismal name, as you know,
Yes.
you have two names in Ethiopia, is Sars Adingil, which means the son of the Holy Virgin.
Okay, okay. So, talk to us about your parents, your line, because you have a very esteemed line. I wrote about it in my book. You wrote a book. I want the people to understand exactly the significance of your birth.
Well, I was born into a very incredible family. My father, the late Ras Kassa, was the son of that scion of Ethiopian aristocracy, Ras Kassa Haile, direct cousin of the Emperor Haile Selassie.
Yes.
About 6 years older than him.
Okay.
One of the few Ethiopian princes who never deserted Emperor Haile Selassie in his old time.
That's
you
a
could
fact.
say that of very few
Yes.
Ethiopian princes. A devout churchman, a man, a philosopher,
yes.
A man who led the Ethiopian army in the Northern Front in 1936.
Yes.
And the man who came immediately after the emperor in those days of Ethiopia, of the Ethiopian Empire. My father was his youngest son, as his three elder brothers were martyred by the Italians in 1936 after having been the first patriot leaders in Ethiopia.
Yes.
So, you know, my father was with his father in exile in Bath, of course, with His Imperial Majesty.
Yes.
He went to school near Bath in a place called Monkton Combe, which is a public school. And, you know, that's what one has to understand the relationship between my father and the emperor.
Yes.
You see, whenever in latter years, I'm quite sure when he saw my father or when my father demanded anything from him, he must have seen this young boy whom he used to go and visit in school, you know, bringing him, you know, sweets and seeing him off on holidays and things like this. So you can imagine that kind of relationship, which one was formal and the other one was really based. And I'm quite sure throughout the years after the death of my grandfather in 1957, where my father slowly took the position of his father, I'm quite sure His Imperial Majesty must have had this feeling, what is this young boy trying to tell me? You know, I've been dealing with his father all the time, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
So it's a wonderful relationship. And I'm proud to say that also my father, despite his very liberal views, and despite the fact that we will come back to it afterwards, he died a staunch supporter of his emperor. He, when he left him, it should be known, he said, when he said goodbye to him, 3 days before, he knew very well when he was going to be arrested, and he told him, my son is going to bring you some papers because I'm going to be taken. And my brother, my younger brother, Mulgita, brought him. The first thing he did after my father was taken by the officers, he went to the palace. The emperor was waiting for him, and he handed him a large envelope, which my father had given him. He said to him, open it. He opened it, and you know what was in it?
What was in it?
Correspondence between my father and all, from mostly the embassy of the United States, the embassy of Her Britannic Majesty's government in Addis Ababa, asking, pleading with them to give the emperor refuge. And it's unbelievable. My brother told me that the Americans said, should he leave the country, we will give him refuge. The British didn't say anything.
Yes.
But that is really interesting. They didn't want to say, we'll give him refuge now. That means bring him to the embassy or something.
Yes.
But they said, only if he leaves. And the emperor had tears in his eyes after realizing this and said to my brother, today I lost my right hand.
Wow.
Which means my father.
Yes, that closeness. That
closeness, absolutely.
Yes, and I would be remiss if I didn't take the opportunity to ask you to just give us a brief biography of Ras Kassa, because I have a younger audience, and some of these names, these are legendary names in the annals of Ethiopian history, resistance. I heard a story that I want to know if it's true, because His Majesty gave a mercy proclamation not to do to the Italians what they had visited. I heard that Ras Kassa got a small exemption from that. This is rumors that I'm hearing. So I want you to give us a history and biography of who is Ras Kassa.
Ras Kassa, as I told you, is a very close cousin of the late emperor. He stems from the Solomonic line in the male side, being the grandson of the emperor. And as you know, the emperor comes from the female side, Princess Tenainuark. And my grandfather was brought up in the house of Ras Darge Haile Selassie, who was the uncle of the then Emperor Menelik II.
Yes.
And it's a divine story.
Yes.
But he should also be the stepfather of Princess Yeshemebet, who was the mother of the emperor.
Yes.
I don't know if you want to hear it, but it is
please.
story.
No, this is the place for this story.
Yes, it is unbelievable. You see, my great grandfather Ras Darge was taken prisoner in Shoa by Emperor Theodore when he came to Shoa, and the king of Shoa, Nugus Haile Selassie, had already died, but at that time it was the father of Menelik had taken the throne, Haile Melekot. Haile Melekot had died, and then Emperor Theodore, took all the Shoan princes to Gondar and imprisoned them there. After a year,
was it Gondar or Magdala in Wollo?
No, it was Gondar. It was Gondar.
Gondar. Okay.
It was absolutely Gondar. By the way, Magdala is not in the province of Begemder. It is in the province of Wollo.
Yes.
Anyway, this is. They went there, and after a year, they went to the emperor and said, "Your Majesty, we have been prisoners for over a year. Will you allow us to bring in our wives from Shoa?"
Yes.
And he said, "Go ahead and do that." So Ras Darge orders that his wife should be brought by, as you know, by caravan, mules, and so forth, to Gondar. By the way, his wife was a most beautiful lady from the province of Siti. She was the daughter of one of the aristocrats of Siti, a most beautiful woman.
Okay.
When she went, and so she's on her way to Gondar, and during those days, if you wanted to go from Shoa to Gondar, you had to go via the province of Wollo.
Okay.
And there is a very important place of transport, which she was bypassing, and the man who was the leader of that province, of that sub-province, was a man called Ali Goncho, a Wollo Muslim nobleman.
Okay.
By the way, the name of that little city was Ahiyafej.
Okay.
So she goes to Ahiyafej. She sees this most astounding lady and beautiful lady. And he said, no, you're not going anywhere. and keeps her there.
Yes.
She becomes pregnant. She gets a daughter.
Okay.
Now, Emperor Theodore has committed suicide. The princes and the noblemen of Shoa are allowed to go back.
Yes.
And Ras Darge goes via Ahiyafej and finds his wife and a daughter.
Okay.
And he's supposed to have said, now, you and I are no longer are no longer husband and wife, but brothers and sisters. But this girl that has been born is my daughter.
Okay.
You see? And so she's raised by Ras Darge. And when at the very tender age, she must not have been older than 14.
Yes.
He gave her as a bride to his favorite cousin, Lunaras Makonde.
Makonnen.
Makonde. You see, Makonde was the big head, who was the father of the late emperor.
Yes, yes, yes.
You see, and that is how closely we are bred together. Nobody would realize that there also this kind of, call it is not a blood relationship, but it is an incredible kind of togetherness that you see.
That's so powerful. And
yes.
Are there any pictures that exist of Yoshima bit?
I mean, I wish I had. I have never been able to trace any picture of her or of my great grandmother, whom, by the way, the emperor in his memoirs very fondly says in his memoirs, the most beautiful years of my life
I remember.
are the days that I spent in Harar as governor of Harar with my grandmother, Wezero Walette Georgis. Yes, whom he probably was very close to, interestingly.
Yes, of course.
So he mentions her there, but I'm afraid...
Was she not Goragi?
Oh, no, Silti. They used to be the same. You are absolutely right. They used to be one, but now they have a different... The Siltis have their own zone. So, so let us use it. Let's use that word. And when you see, this is the most beautiful side of the Ethiopian Empire.
Yes.
The late emperor was the 225th monarch, from the Solomonic dynasty.
Yes.
And I promise you, not one of the 225 Ethiopian emperors stemmed from one ethnic group.
Okay.
I ask anybody to tell me that there is an emperor who comes from one ethnic group. Take, for example, the great Emperor Johannes, who was supposed to be Tigrayan. Yes, he was Tigrayan on his father's side, but his mother came from Wollo.
Okay.
You see, it is unbelievable. So this is the glory of being an Ethiopian, We are a truly mixed race.
Well, from to us a son was born and a child was given, and the government shall be upon his shoulders, and his name shall be called the Wonderful Counselor, Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Them call him Rastafari. When he was born, rain fall from the sky. Them call him Rastafari. When he was grown, in airplanes he fly. They call him Rastafari. Iron break the chain, beat not, don't cry. Them call him Rastafari. Read the Revelation chapter 5 verse 5. Then born near the city of Harar, the inspiration for Bob Marley's guitar. People crowd him like some big superstar. It no matter if England or Cote d'Ivoire, no matter if you're brown or black like Qatar. Haile Selassie I end all tribal war. A time fi gather Mount Zion, fi drive solar car from the car straight to Zanzibar. Who we are, the sons of Rastafari. When he was born, rain fall from the sky. Rastafari, when he was grown in airplanes he fly. Rastafari, the lion break the chain, weep not, don't cry. Rastafari, we do Revelation chapter 5 verse 5. Royal governor from the age of 13 years, leave the palace, fi go back in a school with him peers. He's the head without fear, he's one to be revered. When them call his name, then the heathen scare. Plus the priest concerned, and him teachers concerned, cause all this little youth want fi do is just learn. But he wait his turn, till him turn the Dejazmatch. The people rejoice when him crown as the Ras they call him. Rastafari, when he was born, rain fall from the sky. Then Rastafari, when he was grown in airplanes he fly. Then Rastafari, the lion break the chain, weep not, don't cry. Then Rastafari, read your Revelation chapter 5 verse 5. Well, Ras Menen call a meeting with all him general them. Say him funeral a come and him have something fi tell them. Him say, we fight together since the days of Adawa. Him say, protect my son and help him unite Africa. Well, them generals, them start cry when them hear this sound. Them say your wishes are come and then bow down to the ground. When him funeral they come, it shock the whole town. Fi see this little youth, him have armies around, they call him